Okay, I want to welcome everybody to today's recording. We actually started talking and moved forward and realized we weren't recording, so we round it, and here we go. Micah Thayer, the CEO and founder of Bellator, left this message for a lot of us today. You might not have seen it yet, but it's exciting. And all I say is read between the lines. Micah shares with us quite a bit in this little 5 minutes here. But I just got a feeling. I just got a feeling that things are getting ready to really pop. Timing is everything. And so we want to make everybody aware and, you know, do what I usually do, and that is try to read between the lines, because when you can anticipate something, you could front run it, you could get engaged before everybody else jumps on. Sometimes the timing is everything. We've had numerous situations, as I mentioned in the video before, those $5,000 miracle code nodes. When we first offered them, they were $1,100. So there's no doubt in my mind that whatever we're going to hear in the next several days here, in the next day or two, is going to be worthy of you considering, where we stand and what it might mean to you in that process. So take it away, Michael. Let's hear what you have to say.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to give a quick note. Just finish up with Hakan in the office. We were here for several hours, doing a lot of different discussions, crunching numbers, making plans, solving, problems, discussing where we're at as a company. So we had a really good session, several hours, undisturbed. Just wanted to do this video really quickly so everyone can get just a little bit closer to what's happening here in the sort of corporate offices. So first of all, there is something very, very big happening with Project X. So if you have assets in Project X, then you should be happy when you hear what's going on. So there's two things that I want to mention. In the next few hours or in the next day or so, I'm going to do a presentation about the changes, the upgrades of Project X, which will make a Project X node about twice as valuable at least. And then there is something happening right now. Douglas Anderson is shooting a segment in New York. There's a video coming out on a new deal that's happening in the Project X sphere. We're also discussing some really exciting stuff about getting involved in Bellator, making it easier for people to be part of it. We're also looking at the Bellator version 2 launching very, very soon with upgrades in the compensation plan, and there's a lot going on there. So we are kind of down to the final wire of what we have now. So getting involved in Bellator now is a perfect time to step into the ring and get started with us. The other part that I was informed of today is that the Metaterra listing, where they are now is that everything has been delivered and they're basically in a stack of companies that are waiting to get delivered. So OTC is working through that stack. And when we're up, it's basically, boom, we're listed. So that is the only thing now remaining, is simply that we're in a queue to be listed. And as soon as they get to us and they do it, it's live. Okay, so we're very, very close. And I believe, as soon as that happens, then our world is going to absolutely change overnight. So we're very close, feeling very excited about that. Ray and Jürgen came out of Singapore, had some really amazing meetings with some top leaders in the industry who it sounds like they fell in love with us and are coming on board. So we have, what else is going on? Phoenix Arena, Bingo's doing well, Sushi's doing extremely well. Phoenix, as you see, is down about 35%. There's been a lot of selling going on. I think it's people that are buying packages. They're liquidating their Phoenix. And there's a certain amount of value that happens when that happens. So I see that maybe as a temporary thing, and then we'll start to track up again. So no big deal there. Miracle Pay, it's open. So the first stage is basically right now there's hundreds of companies that are being onboarded, setting up their accounts, filling out the forms, getting their KYB done, so being identified, doing all of the banking connections and everything. So that's going really well. Very, very fast onboarding, smooth onboarding. Everything is just working really amazing there. So we will be coming out with some updates in regards to what's happening there. And yeah, so stay tuned for me. I'm going to be coming out with the compensation plan for the packages. That's coming soon. I mean, in the next few hours. That was kind of a little bit of an oversight. It's a 7-level compensation plan. It's very similar to how the Christmas package went. And then we're also coming up with the updates on Project X. And then, of course, what is this new massive project that's happening under the Project X node. So thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll be back to you very soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Micah. All right. So we like to call our training a leadership factory. And the reason why we call it a leadership factory is because, as you know, we have 5 ranks: difference maker, what I call DM, winner, leader, champion, and legend. And the leader position is really a strong position. A difference maker is very simple: 2 sales, 1 left, 1 right. Winner, very simple: 3 lineage legs, 3 teams. You had to enroll at least 3 people. It's impossible to become a winner if you only enroll 2. 3 is the magic number. But if you have 3 difference maker legs, you get promoted to winner. Winners get a $500 rank advancement bonus, and that's great. Now, once you become winner, what you want to do is produce 3 winners. You produce 3 winners and have at least 60 active people. Now, what's an active person? An active person is somebody who bought a full node or a full NFT, our $1,300, $1,200, $5,000, whatever it is, one time. There's no monthly requirements. Once you personally enroll somebody that buys a full product, they are active. So to become a leader, all it takes is 3 winner legs and at least 60 active members. And all those, this is really unique. In network marketing, I've written comp plans and consulted. And usually when we get into an arena like this, I would advise that we utilize 3 legs of volume with a maximum of a certain amount coming out of a leg. And thanks to Micah, he made it real simple. It doesn't matter in your lineage legs if all of those 60 members came out of 1 leg. It all counts, which is fantastic. So let's go into a basic training right now. And as we just talked about, how you advance, what an active member is: difference maker, 2 personal sales; winner, 3 difference maker legs; leader, 3 winner legs; champion, 3 leader legs; and legend, 3 champion legs. And as you can see in the right, the total active that are required at each rank advancement. And once you hit the ranks, you're there indefinitely. So very exciting stuff. Very, very, very easy to understand. But I like to show it in the difference between our binary and our unilevel. We actually have a hybrid. So when you personally enroll somebody, they get placed both in your binary structure and in your 15-level unilevel. And the mistake that a lot of people make that's very confusing is that they look at their binary structure when they're trying to advance in rank, and you have to have a buzzer to go off in your head. You don't look at your binary structure to figure out how you advance in rank. You advance in rank based on your unilevel. This is your family tree. This is your bloodline. This is what we call lineage, your lineage legs. And anybody can become, a difference maker, a winner, or champion, leader champion, legend, anywhere in depth on your unilevel. It doesn't stop at the 15 levels. The earning stops at the 15 levels, but not the ability to qualify. Somebody could be 100 levels deep and become a champion, and that becomes a champion leg for you. Think about it that way. Somebody becomes a difference maker in a specific leg, and that's a difference maker leg. Whatever the highest rank of any of the people in that leg are, that's what it is. A winner leg, a champion leg, a leader leg. Once you have a leader in any one of your lineage legs, that's a leader leg. And all you need is 3 leader legs to become a champion. That's how simple this is, guys. So understand the difference between the two. When you're looking to advance in rank, look at your unilevel, and that's where you're going to find who's who. And one of the beauties of it, it goes infinite levels. It's not that you have to enroll somebody. Again, it could be somebody, you might know somebody. There was a phrase that was used years back by Art Williams. He said he called people studs and duds, right? And he said every dud knows a stud. And so, you could have somebody who gets involved for a day, they talk it up and somebody joins because they talked it up and then they disappear and they're a dud. But that person underneath them could become a stud, and that will count for you. Whether it's 2 levels deep or 3 levels deep or 5 levels deep or 10 levels deep, doesn't matter. What you're looking for, according to Art Williams, is you're looking for 3 studs. That's all it takes to go to the top of this plan is 3 people that become champion or better, and you're a legend. That's it. You have the right numbers in place, and you're there. So you want to understand the difference between qualification and earning. You earn in both the unilevel and you earn in the binary. We're not going to go into those details right now, but when it comes down to advancing in rank, you only want to look at your lineage, your bloodline, your family tree. Use that terminology so that I've had people tell me I have, and this is where it occurred. They would show me their binary and say I have a winner over here, and down underneath them there's another winner. Does that count for me? No, that doesn't count as two legs. It counts as a 1 winner leg. That's what it counts for. You could have 100 winners in a leg, and if that's the highest rank anybody in that leg is, that's a winner leg. If somebody becomes a leader, then it's a leader leg. Somebody becomes a champion, then it's a champion leg. So, but you don't want to look at your binary to figure out your next rank and how to get there. You want to look at your lineage leg. Okay, I talked enough about that. So here's the 3. We're going to end it on just this slide. We're not going to go any further than that because we got 6 minutes before the top of the hour. And as I indicated earlier, when the training session is done today, we're going to do something unique. It's called the meeting after the meeting. And based on the fact that all the lines are muted right now, what we will do is it'll be based on somebody raising their hands, but there's got to be a protocol to this. And we got to drive this point home before we go into that training, that meeting after the meeting. This is not anywhere to gripe, moan, and complain. What this is about is enthusiasm. It's about positivity. It's about advancing. It's questions that are constructive that can help you understand something. It's also statements. You might want to just share a great story, not to take, we have limited time. So if you got a little 2-minute testimony you want to share, that's great. So anybody who's raising their hand is positive, 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 positive. That's what it'll be for. It will not be customer service. I am not customer service. Matter of fact, I'm not the best person to talk to about any of that stuff. I'm really technologically challenged, but we do have a customer support department, and that's a whole nother story. But here's the training I want to go over with you today. I always believe in 3s. To me, 3 is a magic number. Whether we're talking about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, or we're talking about, just actual physical laws that are in place. The dynamic of 3 is really key to me. 3 is the key, right? Look at our comp plan. 3 people to get to the top of the plan. So we have these 3 different things: exposure being everything, fortune in the follow-up, and work with the willing. I want to spend a little time in each of these 3 areas. Exposure is everything. If you're here because you're building a business and you want to build a team and you want to advance in rank and you want to get the larger incomes, and oh, by the way, what I forgot to mention earlier is one of the reasons why we really focus on getting to leader is leaders get a pay raise. Leaders go from making a maximum of $200 a day as a winner, because winners can make $200 a day from their lesser leg volume in the binary. At leader, you get a pay raise to 2,000 a day. You can make up to 2,000 a day. That's a big jump, right? Difference makers can make 100 a day. Winners can make 200 a day. Leaders can make 2,000 a day. So exposure is everything. In order to get there, you want to make this something that another slide here talks about, the fast start training, which this is the beginning of, but it's all about showing this to people. Exposure is everything. So I'm going to go to the next slide and then come back. Make a list of your top 20 people, whether you're launching your business, you just got started, or you're going to get started, or you're relaunching your business because you learned something new here that's going to give you motivation to go out there and set a goal and go after it. Show the plan, show the plan, show the plan, show the plan. That's what we get paid to do. We get paid to share this with others. Trust me, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Just doesn't work. But if you don't say anything to anybody, it's like the great Wayne Gretzky said, you will always miss 100% of the shots you never take. You got to take some shots. There's an old adage that we've heard over and over again, and that is nothing ventured, nothing gained. You got to be in the game. You got to be swinging. The more you swing, it's like I remember back in the day when the home run king was Babe Ruth. They said Babe Ruth hit more home at the time. His record has been broken. But at the time, Babe Ruth hit more home runs than anybody. Well, Babe Ruth also struck out more than anybody. But Babe Ruth was swinging for the fences, more than anybody. And that's just the way it goes. The more you swing, the more chances you have. And if you're swinging for the fences and looking for the home run, it's like we call it elephant hunting in this game. Okay, here we go. We're going off on a tangent here. On a scale of 1 to 10, see yourself as a 5 and recruit up. You go after the people you're uncomfortable with because they're too successful. They make too much money. They intimidate you, whatever. Believe it or not, the more successful people are, they see this quicker than anyone. Look at those guys with the Wall Street Capital guys. There's nobody bigger than those guys in the world when it comes down to businesses. And they saw this. The most successful people in the world see things faster. Fast is fun, slow is painful. I love talking. I've sat in boardrooms with C-level executives that have tens of thousands of employees, and these guys just get it. You don't have to explain much; they get it. So you want to do that. If you want to really hit it top, make your top list, and make them qualified prospects. Just figure out, learn, ask them. Are you open to the idea of making more money? Do you have goals, dreams, desires to do more, be more, have more? Are you willing to spend money to make money? That's what makes a qualified prospect. If you're showing this to qualified prospects, the only reason why you'll fail is because you didn't show it to enough. So here's the rule of thumb. 1 a day keeps failure away. 2 a day equals money. 3 a day will make you an absolute fortune. Think about that. If you on average showed our business to 3 people a day over a year, you will have shown it to over 1,000 people. How many of them are going to say yes? A whole bunch, especially if they're qualified prospects. So yeah, this is very simple to do. We're going to bring this portion of today to a close. For those of you who are looking at this, we do this training every Tuesday, every Thursday. Come back again on Thursday. Today's Tuesday, and bring people with you. Bring them to the presentation. We had a nice group of well over 100 people on a call today. There's no reason why we can't have hundreds and eventually thousands on these Zooms every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday, put it on your calendar, be there. But more than that, take those people that you're exposing and bring them to this part of it. See, we'll do the heavy lifting for you. And that's a piece we call work with the willing. That was the previous slides, right? There's a fortune to follow up and then work with the willing. And that's what we do. So again, with that being said, hang in there if you want to hang out and be part of the meeting after the meeting. Other than that, thank you for attending, and always, always, always remember, the best is yet to come. To God be the glory. We're going to stop the recording now. Let's see. Stop the share. Stop the recording.